Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ludi Tonight session. We've got ourselves two exciting matches tonight. We got Rainfall versus Wishy-Washy happening right now, and coming up later, we will have Octo Royals versus Kraken, a cold one. But first, we got our Division 8 Week 4 match. And joining with me today is Peachy and Jordan here. How are you guys doing tonight?
In there, just trying to live life to the fullest.
I get that.
Yeah, I feel that too. I'm doing all right. I'm excited for this Ludi tonight that we got. Yeah, the two teams here, we got Rainfall and Wishy-Washy. Both teams bring in 4 players tonight. Rainfall does have a 5th player on their team, but if this is the roster that we're going to see tonight, then so be it. Both teams are 1 and 2 coming to this, and they may not have a good shot at making it to the playoffs, as there are 2 teams in the group. This is Division 8A Group D that are 3-0 right now, but depending on how the rest of the regular season plays out, either one of them could have a shot, and so this is still a very important match for them, and we are starting to see how the power rankings, I suppose, in the division play out, and these two seem to be relatively evenly matched, so I'm excited for a close set here, and I'm hoping for that too.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a really interesting set tonight. Looking at Rainfall's previous experience, there's a lot for a Div 8 team here. It says they were crafted in June of 23. They've played in events like Low Inc, FTIU, and they played in Flutie as well, where they made playoffs. And on the side of Wishy-Washy, they just formed late August, early September, and they've played in FTIU, making 2nd silver bracket, and I think it's FTIU 41, so fairly recent.
Yeah, both of these teams are relatively new, both formed this summer, so the coordination among the teammates, that's something that we'll really want to see. If either team is able to, has been able to really put that together better than the other, then they can show it here and try to wow us.
Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on Game 1 here on Crab-Leg Clam?
Yeah, this is one of the new maps that was added in the current season. It's been a couple months, so the teams have definitely had some time to feel it out, see what works on this map, what doesn't. I personally haven't had a whole lot of experience on it myself, but it's really interesting to see how the greats come into play, if on the attack either team can make the most of them, not just tunnel visioning on the ramp, the very central ramp that leads up to the enemy plat where the basket is.
Yeah, this one you really gotta play careful. Especially if we see some like Pink Zukas coming out, or even like the new laser buff. It's gonna be a little bit threatening, especially when you have to push that one little area.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Do we know what they run weapon-wise? As far as I know, the only thing I've seen about Rainfall is that they have a secret, like, weapon that is apparently off meta, so I'm curious to see what that is.
yeah, maybe they have a one trick on their team who plays an off-meta weapon, and that that can be a blessing. Having a weapon that you really know the ins and outs of, rather than just jumping on what's meta, the V shot, the splatter shot with the Inkzuka, the Trizuka. You can really, if you can really build a successful comp around it. I mean, we've seen high level play with players really showing a weapon that shines. So there's absolutely no reason it won't work here in Div 8.
I think having that pick is just... It's kind of scary, because, like, if you're running an off-meta pick, especially in, like, Div 8, some teams may not know how to counter it. So that could be absolutely massive going into these games. I mean, if it's something like that's completely left field, I don't... What's a really kind of okay weapon right now? It's not really meta, but it's not bad. Like V Dynamo, I guess that could be a good one. Just because like Cooler's good, but Dynamo's in kind of a awkward spot. But a good Dynamo player is really annoying to deal with.
Oh yeah, definitely. I suppose my first thought is maybe a charger like the Squiffer Bamboozler. That's another thing that if you can really make that work, you can be a nightmare for an enemy team to deal with.
Oh, dude, Squiffers are just the bane of my existence when I play Open or when I see a tournament as a Squiffer. They just will not miss.
Oh yeah, that's especially with the kit they have with the bubble, makes especially hard to deal with. But we won't see it. We won't know for sure until we see this. It seems like we are still just waiting on one player to get into the lobby, but other than that, we are just about ready to go.
Yeah, almost there. We're almost ready to get into some really hype sets.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and then after that, coming up, you'll see Game 2, Splat Zones on Umami Runes.
You know, this is a map mode. It's not awful by any means, but I just feel like once you have zone and you finally get some numbers, it can start a really nasty lockout.
Yeah, the lockout is pretty tough to come back from on this map mode, and it's one where we'll see some other zone-specific weapons shine. Like if you might see an X-Blow on this mode, on this map, that can really easily hold down the zone and honestly hold down all of mid with its range.
X-Blow here is one of my favorite choices. Last CCA season, when this was in rotation for one of the weeks, X-Blosher was like our pick, and it worked really well, just because once we cap it, and you get yourself up on spine in the middle, it's really oppressive, because they can't push out from their ramp, and you have point sensors to mark anyone trying to go the drop route. It's just kind of mean.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know though. Like these first two maps are really good, and I think it gives either team like really fair shots of going back and forth or winning. It's just good maps overall. I think Umami's slightly worse than Crab Leg, but I like the map.
All right, and it seems like we are getting into it with Rainfall and Wishy-Washy.
Ooh,
and Game 1 is about to begin. Ah, that might be what Rainfall was talking about with the Glugas. Both teams they do appear to be hitting right to mid. The clams have dropped. We have Demon on the Viper right here, picking up clams, trying to hold some space in mid despite the pressure coming from the enemy grates. Oh, was that someone just walking over the top of grates trying to sneak by?
I think so, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. That might be Wishy-Washy trying to pull a sneak play, but here we got the missiles coming out from the Viper Deco, and on Wishy-Washy trying to... Oh, 3 down on Rainfall. can Wishy-Washy make much of this?
Yeah, like, sure it was 3 down, but the cooler was really helpful there.
Yeah, they're all pretty much immediately back up. The fight is still pretty much in mid right now. Neither team has made a power clan yet, so it looks like Rainfall are a little bit backed up on their own top right or top left from their perspective, and on their plat, where Wishy-Washy, especially with their ballpoint from RB, able to exert a lot of pressure in mid.
Yeah, we saw Azuka trying to find a pick, but even though we weren't able to find one, they were able to point out exactly where they're at, and they're starting to try to make a good push here. One going down, which is the glucose to that slosher.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to make something happen on the grates, but now Wishy-Washy is slowly, methodically pushing forward. They have a couple of their own specials online from the slosher and from the ballpoint, and the cooler comes out, looks like pretty much immediately when it was ready, so it looks like they're trying to make something happen. They get 2 for 1. Can they push this further? They've made a power clan, they've got a 3rd down. This might be our first score of the night.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to push, being safe with Zuka and the strikes. The splatter shot, all they have to do is push in, gets the clam in, but goes down for it.
Yeah, it's 2 versus 2. They have a jump coming in, but it's being camped, but RB does still survive the camp on their jump. It looks like that they got a small clam in. They were not able to score much more than that, and they've jumped out. Good on them for jumping out and not overcommitting. They've regrouped, and now it is back to neutral and mid. A pretty slow game for here, but it's fascinating nonetheless.
Yeah, even though we're down, it's not by a lot. Rainfall still has a really good shot at winning this for only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. That's still a lot of time.
Yeah, and they do have the Azuka come out. The Glukas go down. Oh, 3 go down. Again, it is just the Zap who's left on Rainfall. Wishy-Washy has been able to really hold the numbers advantage for a large part of this game. They take out the Zap too, so that'll put a blow to Rainfall's attempts to come back with Cooler. There's another trade, but Rainfall is really getting a little bit staggered here, and Wishy-Washy is able to keep the middle of the fight on Rainfall's side of the map.
Yeah, that was a good Booyah Bomb, getting Silver just off their top right so they can just try to push out. But what we really need here is to see some specials come out. Missiles and Azuka will be really huge just to push back Wishy-Washy and try to start getting some flame economy going.
Yeah, we have the missiles ready from Demon, and they come out pretty much immediately. There's a trade that happens, but it doesn't seem like they're able to really make much happen. They do get a pick on the Slosher, but that doesn't seem to do much just yet. They are pushing forward onto Wishy-Washy's side of the map. I wouldn't necessarily be so nervous if I were Wishy-Washy right now, because it is relatively neutral. There was the Booyah Bomb that just came out from Rainfall, but they do have, Wishy-Washy does have the Inkjet of their own ready to go, and it is out right now.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy with this Inkjet, I think it's going to be really good, but is that the bomb that takes it out? It was.
Yeah, it's the suction bomb from DHVF, it looks like, on the Zap.
Zap on this map mode is just really strong. Like, we saw the suction do its job, but the Cooler, it's just ridiculous for trying to keep pushes on this map.
Yeah, the Cooler is a very popular part of the meta these days for good reason. It allows you to just get right back in when you get splatted, and a map as big as this, that's important. Yeah, now it's getting down to the last 30 seconds, so if anyone has last-ditch effort, it has been activated. We see both teams throwing bombs. 2 go down on Wishy-Washy, so if they want to make a comeback, this does not look good for them. It's just RB on the ballpoint left, and they are getting targeted by that Trizuka.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's 3 balls in Rainfall's favor, and it's only down to 77. 2 balls would end it instantly.
Yeah,
just gotta play smart here.
Oh, they have 3. They are able to put the pressure on, but can they score in time? They aren't really... It doesn't look like they're really using the flanks, the sides of the map. They got the Booyah Bomb on the plat. Oh, They scored a power clam, but only one and got wiped for it. And so it looks like that might not be enough as the other clams are disappearing. The basket is closing. Oh, they did it! They made it! They scored another clam and they took the lead in overtime. That's incredible. I was not expecting that to happen with so little time left. And the wipeout as well. Incredible show of resilience from Rainfall.
My jaw is on the floor. I was like, that's just a game. Wishy-Washy's defense was incredible, but Rainfall proved me wrong.
Yeah, that you really have to get it to the fight to the bitter end to prevent losing a game like that. And must be a blow to Wishy-Washy's confidence as well. They're really going to need to regroup and not let that affect them in the next game. Look at that.
Yeah, most teams right here would have been like, nah, man. They stopped our push, but Rainfall was like, hey, it's really not over till it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they must have had a beacon there.
It was the jump.
The Viper Deco must have had a beacon, and that enabled them to push back in. They got the claim in just as the basket was going back up. That's unreal.
That is some like really, really well timed clams. Like,
wow, last instant save.
That is impressive. That is really impressive. That I am sure they are really proud about that. They
yeah, they've got to be, and they've got to be proud of it, but that was a hard-fought game for them. They did not have control for most of it. They did not have the lead at any point until the moment they won. And if they've got confidence coming from that, they can't get complacent.
I am curious though. Rainfall has seen how Wishy-Washy plays. Wishy-Washy has seen how Rainfall plays. So they understand what they're going up against now. So this next game, maybe a little more back and forth rather than just seeing Wishy-Washy just holding mid the entire game.
Yeah. Holding mid is also a different beast in splat zones, where mid is the entirety of where the objective is. However, it's not the only place you can influence the objective. So if either team wants to get a lockout going, they're going to have to make a push. But Complete is back on the Glugas. That seems to be their off-meta pick that they were referring to. And I don't think there's much of a change, but we do see the Explo from Wishy-Washy coming out. So they must be aware of how much of a benefit it could be on this map, and there they are already, capping one of the zones, and they almost have control over both. They get a pick on the V shot from Rainfall.
Yeah, Explosher, I'm telling you, it is the pick on this map. It's just so good at telling the enemy team no, and not to mention with a cooler and a Neo machine, it just makes it like easy as cake sometimes.
Yeah, with the Neo machine, that does mean that Wishy-Washy is running a double Zuka comp, and the Zuka did get a slight nerf in the patch that came out recently, but it's still pretty powerful when you have two of them. Wishy-Washy does maintain control. They take 3 down on Rainfall, even as Rainfall neutralizes the zone, but Wishy-Washy is able to take it back. And are they going to be able to win without letting Rainfall score a single point?
Yeah, we're already below 35 points in one push. This is potentially really huge for Wishy-Washy, but Rainfall really does need some specials to start trying to even remotely push in here.
Yeah, it was only at the last second when they won the previous game, so Wishy-Washy really, like I said, they can't get complacent. The Explo does get taken out by the Zap, and Rainfall caps one zone. They take the zone, and they prevent the total knockout. They prevent the 100 to 0. Wishy-Washy's already back in and neutralizing the zone, but Rainfall does have the majority of control of mid. The Booyah comes out, and it takes the zone back, but only for an instant.
Yeah, it's still a really good play. Stopping it at 7 is like, the game's not over.
Yeah,
but the Explorer does have Rain, and Azuka finds one. Is that 2?
Yeah, that's 2 down from Rainfall. The zone is flipped at only 87, so Rainfall, despite being able to prevent Wishy-Washy from knocking them out immediately. They aren't able to really make the most of it, and they only get to 87 remaining before Wishy-Washy is back in the position that they were in before, controlling mid, controlling the zones, and preventing Rainfall from really making any progress.
Yeah, Rainfall's desperately trying to get some sort of like ground here. The Booyah Bomb taking one zone and they're taking the other, but it's still in neutral.
Yeah, the Booyah was a good play to get the Booyah onto the other side, but unfortunately for them, that isn't enough paint until just a moment later. But the pick there, the pick on the Glugas on complete, does allow Wishy-Washy to neutralize the zones. But oh, there's 3 down on Wishy-Washy, and it's only the Expo left with the jump coming in. But Rainfall hasn't really capped the zones. They don't have the other side. They do now though, and they're able to get the timer taking down just bit by bit.
And they really got to start walling out Wishy-Washy here. I think Lugas has a fairly straightforward time doing that, but it's the Explosher that's really giving them trouble, along with just constant double Zukas from Wishy-Washy.
Yeah. If Complete is able to just keep the walls up in that choke point, then that'll really be a hassle for Wishy-Washy to get through. But even with that being said, Wishy-Washy does get a wipeout. A wipeout wasn't enough for them to win the game last time, and we're seeing this last a while. And so Wishy-Washy is going to have to make it count here. They have the cooler up, though, and they are really doing their best to lock out Rainfall in their own base here.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy holding a lot of space really well, but with the missiles and the Booyah Bomb, Tinsel's finding one, which is... I mean, you don't see that often.
Yeah, there's 2 down on Rainfall. There's 1 zone for each team for a second there. Naughty on Wishy-Washy is trying to hold the zone from this perspective on the right side, and the zones are flipping back and forth. There's 45 seconds left. Rainfall, ooh, they're 3 down now. They'll really have to make a last-second comeback here if they're going to make another comeback win like last time.
Now we have T-minus 30 seconds here. Wishy-Washy has a nice foothold with Cooler, too. So even if they die, it really doesn't matter. But Rainfall has Booyah Bomb, and they have missiles here. They really got to start playing it smart.
Yeah, it looks like they're using their cooler, they're using their Booyah Bomb, their Zuka's ready. They may try to chain that special with the others. Only 13 seconds left. They neutralize the zone, but they lose 2 players for it. They take out 2 from Wishy-Washy, but lose another. It looks like Wishy-Washy is going to take this at full time. Even as 3 go down, Rainfall needs to take the zones, and it's not enough. It's not in time.
We saw it cap right as the game ended. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, we see that a lot on close zones games like this, but that was a really exciting back and forth game, and Wishy-Washy evens it out.
Yeah, it's 1-1. We're at least going to what, a game 6? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we have a game 6 guaranteed, but that still feels very far away from here. Next up, we have tower control on Hagglefish Market. Yeah, this is the replay with only 20 seconds left. I believe that is Apple from Wishy-Washy. On the... Is that the V-Shot, I believe? No, the Machine Neo. Yeah, holding that side of the zone, getting assists on 2 players. Rainfall trying desperately to take it at the end here, but they aren't quite able to do it with the special output from Wishy-Washy.
This game was very thrilling, very back and forth. And it's just a joy to watch, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. By the way, I was looking at some stats earlier, and I noticed that at least for on the matches that have been on Ludi tonight, you may think that Game 1 is really a significant source of momentum and might favor, like, the team that wins Game 1 has a significant advantage, but in fact, it's more of an advantage. More sets are won by the team that wins Game 2. And I think that there's 2 things I can think of that would explain that. One, as we get started here on Tower Control and Hagglefish Market, it looks like the same exact comp from Rainfall, and with Wishy-Washy flexing back to something more like they used in Game 1. Um, as I was saying, the team that wins game 2, if they lost game 1, that evens it up to 1-1 and makes it a it makes the rest of it a best of 7, and it means that they're carrying momentum into the next game. And a loss and then a win does feel like better momentum than a win and a loss. And
It really does.
yeah, like we're seeing just here, 2 go down on Rainfall, and Wishy-Washy is able to take the tower first.
They have Cooler, though, so it's not the biggest of deal that we're losing these fights. But
Yeah, but
Wishy-Washy
Wishy-Washy has
good.
Cooler too.
Yeah, this is huge momentum from both teams, just trying to desperately get past that first checkpoint, which is one of the harder ones.
Yeah, Naughty was able to flank the tower from the side there, or at least prevent Rainfall from coming from that direction and making the most of their stop. But the Zuka comes out, it takes out the shot, I couldn't see what name that was, on Rainfall, who was up there on the side, under the canopy, trying to stop the tower there at the first checkpoint. And the first checkpoint, it has gone down to Wishy-Washy.
And that is potential huge momentum here, because if we can get past first, then second should be a breeze if we just keep numbers up. And they have Strikes and Azuka coming out.
Oh, that's a very quick pick from the Zuka on Demon from Rainfall, or the Zuka coming out from Wishy-Washy, that is. But there's Complete getting the picks on, or getting one pick and getting the assist on Silver from Wishy-Washy to stop the tower from getting any momentum on the second check. And there goes the tower running over that Tacticooler.
And Rainfall finally is starting to have some sort of numbers, but as I say that, 2 go down, with Silver behind them on the bucket, skirmishing with this Wiper.
Wow, yeah, that before the patch, that Zuka probably would have taken out the Tower Rider there, but with it, Rainfall is able to survive just a little longer and get the push all the way to the first checkpoint, even if they can't make it anywhere on it.
What was that? The Zap able to find 2, but also 2 go down on Wishy-Washy as well, so it's just 2-2 right now.
Yeah, a skirmish that Rainfall stops the tower, stops Wishy-Washy for at least a little bit, but Wishy-Washy does have a lot of turf in mid and has the control of the area around the tower.
Rainfall really needs to start taking these team fights and winning if they want to get down all the way to 39.
Yeah, 38 to take the lead.
Yeah.
We see specials coming out from both sides. The Inkjet from Wishy-Washy. But Rainfall has gotten 2 picks, and they might be able to push this. Ooh, they can camp the jump. They don't quite get the melee direct Demon on, but after a bit of a fight, they do take out that player from Wishy-Washy, and Wishy-Washy with 3 down. How far can Rainfall push this? Can they take that and build more momentum? They have the Booyah Bomb from Complete. They have HVF riding the tower, surviving that bomb, and making it back to the first checkpoint. Can they... This is a long checkpoint, but it looks like that they are able to make it through.
Now Rainfall really start keeping this momentum here, going down almost to the second checkpoint here.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
no
3
specials
picks.
online. Taking the lead as well.
Yeah, those 3 picks in the middle of their push, allowing Rainfall to take the lead. The Booyah Bomb coming out from Complete. The Strikes coming out from Wishy-Washy.
It's just a bloodbath, honestly, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That is one of the hardest checkpoints to break sometimes, just because specials get spammed right there all the time.
And yeah, that's what we saw there. The specials coming out from both sides. Rainfall, their Wiper trying to distract the Wishy-Washy, but the Wiper has backed up somewhat. Ooh, a good pick from Apple, taking out Complete, and ooh, 3 down on Rainfall, 2 down on Wishy-Washy. They're already spawning back in, but those picks aren't quite enough for Wishy-Washy. They are playing from behind now, so they are going to need to really make something happen and make something happen in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah, it's starting to... Clock's ticking down, we're losing some time. I think Wishy-Washy here has a good chance to win. They just gotta start playing it kind of team-oriented, really. We can't be feeding in one-on-one.
Yeah, they get 2 picks here, and a lot of the time you will see these games played from behind, teams teams can really focus and really put it together in the last 30 seconds, but maybe not Wishy-Washy here, as two go down on their team. They bring out the strikes, but they get the pick on the tower. Oh, they get picked on the tower, and that is game as Rainfall takes the tower back.
That's still an incredible push from Wishy-Washy. That was well played from both teams. They had a really good push, but just unfortunately one pick will decide it, especially on tower control.
Yeah, they weren't able to make that overtime comeback happen like Rainfall pulled on them in game 1. And you love to see the fist bump on the result screen.
Always some nice extra clout when you fist bump on stream.
Oh yeah.
This Inkjet right here was pretty good, able to get one pick in mid and then scare him off from right, and then starting to get this push going, especially when hopping on tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's overtime here. Wishy-Washy trying to make something happen, but RB gets picked, and another player goes down. Silver gets out the strikes, it looks like, but they are only able to hold the tower for just a little bit longer, and they aren't even able to make it back to the second checkpoint before Rainfall stops their push in its tracks.
Rainfall were on top of the overtime defense there, able to like you said, just jump on that tower instantly the moment a pick was on.
Yeah. Maybe Wishy-Washy are lucky to have that Rainfall didn't cap the zone at the end of game 2, because they have been working magic in overtime, and Wishy-Washy might want to try going for knockouts, although that'll be a little more difficult here on Surge and Rainmaker.
I do not like this map. I'm going to be real with you. This map is not my favorite.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it in Splatoon 2, but it feels different in Splatoon 3 for whatever reason. Maybe I don't know what the difference is.
Ludi has, at least this season, has had a lot of Surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? Tower, Rainmaker, and now
another
Rainmaker.
Yeah. We've seen it 3 weeks. Already into the game, we see the Machine Neo coming back out. I believe that's Apple on Wishy-Washy. That's RB with the Machine Neo, Apple on the Zap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same comp again from Rainfall. They were up 2-1 with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the Glugas do get taken down by Silver on the V-Slosher.
I think V-Slosh here is the correct pick, just because it's just so good on this map.
Yeah. The Slosher class in general, this map does have a lot of those height differences where that class shines. Mm-hmm. Wishy-Washy is taking control of mid here, and they have the area around the Rainmaker. They popped their cooler, and they've picked up the Rainmaker. I believe that's Apple who has picked it up.
Oh, excuse me. It is being late where I'm at. But, the Zuka there trying to start some momentum. Rainmaker may be able to sneak a dunk.
They tried to sneak through the middle. And they get punished for it. 2 go down. The Zap is already back up. They may still have had Tech the Cooler when they went down, but 2 more picks from Rainfall. They allows them to stop Wishy-Washy's first push. It's been a minute. They've popped the Rainmaker and they're letting it reset, and they've taken the fight to mid. Ooh, that's a trade for complete trade 2-2 on both teams. And Wishy-Washy is taking the Rainmaker, or they've popped the Rainmaker again, and they're taking the space around it.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy has a really strong start of this game. I just think the double Zuka comp is really hard to deal with, especially with the Machine and a Bucket to or a Slosher, Vanilla Slosher.
Yeah, and that was an impressive fighting from RB on Wishy-Washy, forcing one player to jump out and getting a trade, and there's 2 going down on Rainfall, so Wishy-Washy may be able to make it all the way to the checkpoint here. They didn't quite do it though. It looks like they tried to go over the top, over the spinner, and jump down to the checkpoint. They didn't quite make it, but it looks like they're popping it again. They can't quite get the turf around it. Rainfall doing a good job of painting that, but one goes down on Rainfall. Rainfall is painting their pedestal and trying to stop Wishy-Washy, and they have stopped Wishy-Washy's push just before the checkpoint once again. And a third time, Wishy-Washy is really focused on that checkpoint. It looks like that might be a bit too much because they haven't really been able to clear Rainfall's pressure out from there, and that hasn't been enough for them to actually make it through.
Yeah, Rainfall's defense is absolutely incredible. They are not letting up whatsoever to Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, but oh, the Rainmaker does go down. That looks like the Zap Apple came through, probably a flank or something, and was able to sneak up on the Rainmaker and get the trade. And trading the Rainmaker is really the best possible trade that you can get
Yeah.
in most cases.
Oh, we see RB trying to grab the Rainmaker, but unfortunately it just resets and going down
Oh,
to, what was
yeah.
that? The shot? It was the shot, yes.
Yeah, and now Rainfall. Yeah, so the Zap then on with DHVF. They've popped their cooler, one going down on each side, trying to put some pressure on mid, coming up through the right side. One goes down on Rainfall. Another goes down on Rainfall, and Wishy-Washy is still preventing them. Even as two go down on Wishy-Washy, they are preventing Rainfall from taking the Rainmaker past mid, taking the Rainmaker really in mid at all, and their Rainfall still hasn't scored any points yet. Oh, there's Demon putting up a beacon with the Viper Deco. That'll, if they can push, that'll be really useful to them. They are starting to take mid. They have the missiles come out. Are they able to make anything happen with them? They've taken the Rainmaker, the HVF has, and they are pushing it towards the checkpoint. Are they going to actually take the checkpoint? Are they going to be able to take the lead in this game with only 40 seconds left?
Oh, another stop right before the checkpoint done.
Not quite. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna run, but
Oh!
they shut them down! Another one goes down.
Wow,
Two down.
they are. This is a game of This might be a game of impatience, really. Both teams desperate to get that first checkpoint and not playing it safe and getting punished for it.
Yeah, this game is just like, how many times can we try this before it works? And both teams are desperately fighting for Rainmaker here. Can they duck it? Thank you,
strikes come out. They get the checkpoint with only a second left to go, and that's enough to take the game.
How many times has Rainfall right before overtime or in overtime just steals a lead?
Oh wow, that looks like 3 times now, and
that is
all 3 of their wins. They are clearly excelling at coming from behind.
Yeah, these guys are not afraid to take it down to the last minute. They are very comfortable. They're not going to choke, unlike the situation where like you don't need to choke. Just like look at this replay here. We see the bucket trying, and we see 2 people from Rainfall down bottom just fighting for the pop. And even the strikes come out from the side of Wishy-Washy, but powering through it.
I think that was a bomb and the missiles. The whole team coming together to get those picks near the end.
And there's everything thrown at that Rainmaker pedestal just to try to prevent and take the checkpoint. It was just a all-out war right there.
Yeah, I saw the tri-strike, the tri-strike, and I thought that might be yet another instance of the impatient push, the desperate push getting punished, but no, the Rainmaker, the checkpoint breaking it was just in time from Rainfall, and that allows them to take game 3 by a single point.
Yeah, hey, a lead is a lead in my book.
Excuse me, that's game 4, their third win of the set.
Let's see here. Scorch Gorge Clamblets. How do you feel about this one?
I like it. I think that there's good play. The weakest parts of Scorch Gorge are very much mitigated in this mode because they're the big bowl in the middle with no way back out and no way to get through it. That is not the case with the big ramp up to the basket, and the bowls on each side of mid, closer to the enemy bases where the attacking team does get a bit more of the height advantage. Those are barely even useful because the baskets are right there.
Oh, we see a ballpoint coming out on the side of Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, I think that's one of RB's
Yeah.
more commonly used weapons. We've seen it come out from them before. Let's see if they can make it work in this game. Rainfall though is already taking mid. They are trying to establish a strong position, but Complete goes down, gets picked for what seems to be no gain, and so Wishy-Washy might be off to a strong start here if they can make it the most, if they can gather clams and avoid these missiles that are coming out.
Missiles there was a really good stall out, but the Gluga's going down again, and the Wiper Deco
Ooh,
going down. It's just, and they put
yeah.
New Azuka online.
Ooh, the Glugas keep going down. It looks like Complete is getting really pushed. Oh, Apple getting the pick, but getting traded back for it. Although RB does go down too. Wishy-Washy or Wishy-Washy's push does seem to be somewhat neutralized now, as Rainfall has some control of mid, and they use their missiles, but the bomb takes out that Wiper Deco.
Yeah, we see the bucket here, just trying to get any sort of advantage, but without a whole lot of pain, it's gonna struggle to move in just a little bit.
Yeah, and Rainfall did get that cooler up, so that pick on the Wiper Deco didn't do a whole lot. Although these picks might be, except that Wishy-Washy do get 2 traded back for it, and now it's 2-2. The fight is in mid. They have a power clam. Are they desperately going to try to put it in here? They run into resistance and they get a trade, and it's not enough. But the inkjet from RB gets a pick, and that might allow Wishy-Washy to score that power clam if it doesn't disappear. Silver picks it up. Silver goes down. RB picks it up. There's another pick going down. RB finally scores the power clam and gets the first points on the board of this game.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Wishy-Washy is going to be able to take it any further than 80, so really just one power clam and one normal clam was just enough to take lead.
Yeah, and it's just one power clam here. That they might be getting flashbacks to game 1, because they had just only about this much of a score, and it wasn't enough. This is not a safe lead by any means. The fight is back in mid. The game's almost halfway over of the regular time. One goes down on Rainfall, but Rainfall, are they going to come back again like they did in game 1? We'll have to see.
The trade coming from the Glugas and the splatter shot over there on the left-hand side. We see Wishy-Washy just trying to start, like, regrouping, trying to take a lot of space, which they are soloing out this Wiper in the corner, but that could also be what he wants.
Yeah, they had RB on their greats and Silver on top mid. I don't know if that was a good choice to drop down like that. Silver gets a pick, but they did give up that really strong position that they had in top mid, where Rainfall at the time didn't really have much to do anything about it. Yeah. Now Rainfall has that Trizuka online. They're trying to take out the players on Wishy-Washy's plat. They get one to move back, but are they going to make more of it? Oh, Complete goes up there and gets picked off. Wishy-Washy has specials that are coming out, and another pick seems to stop Rainfall's latest push in its tracks.
Yeah, Rainfall had the makings of a good push there, but unfortunately Wishy-Washy just had really good special management, able to shut down the push before it even really got started.
Oh yeah, the Silver on the Slosher goes down when they had their special ready, but they must have had the cooler because they come back with the special still ready. And another pick from Complete. That's a trade, it seems, in the grand scheme. They have a power clam here. They get past Corn, or sorry, that was Silver. No, that was Apple. Excuse me. But it's not enough. They aren't able to take the space there as the specials from Wishy-Washy come out and stop that push yet again.
With about a minute left on the clock, Rainfall has 2 power clams, and there's not really, well, 3 technically, but there's no reason to really rush it. All they need is numbers, specials, and but they gotta clutch it up though.
Ooh, Silver going across the grates, and 2 go down. 2 go down on the side of Rainfall. They are trying to make that defense. They lose one of the power clams that they had. They're trying to make another one. Oh, and looks like Silver scores for Wishy-Washy to get the score down to 70, and they are putting more clams in the basket. The Wiper here is trying to make something happen on the side, but it's pulling them away. Demon is pulled away from the basket, and that allows Wishy-Washy to get all the way to 64 points. It's a bigger lead that they'll have to overcome than in the first game, and they have their pity clam with only 5 seconds left. But this is going to be a lot of work. This might be even more work than before that they would have to put in to make this comeback.
And we see one go down on each side. Bomb coming out from Complete, trying to get a wall set up. We have some jumps coming in, but there's not a lot of overtime left. It needs to be a fast push.
Complete gets one pick, trying for a second here, at least pulling the player on Wishy-Washy away, but there's no time, and the game ends with Wishy-Washy taking this Clams game.
And you heard that power clam go in, too. But just the push was a little slow, and unfortunately, time ends, even if that power clam is trying to go in. But that was really well played on Wishy-Washy's part. You, like, saw them trying to pincer Rainfall. You saw them, like, making sure they had specials when, like, trying to play defense. They used specials when going in. Just really good plays.
Yeah, and they held top mid. They held mid more often than not. Here we see Demon on the Viper Deco trying to make something happen from the side here, trying to allow Rainfall to get in. The Booyah Bomb comes out, trying to clear a path. Complete goes for the flank to distract the enemy or to get picks on Wishy-Washy from behind. They do get the pick on RB, but it isn't enough and time is running out. They aren't able to get the power clam there in time, and that might have been a missed throw, that might have just been time running out, and they aren't able to make the comeback like they did in game 1.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. Wishy-Washy could have some really good momentum here going into game 6.
Yeah, definitely. Rainfall still does have the lead in the set, but it is wide open. It is anyone's set here. And here we have a return to the game that opened Ludi off this season. A repeat from Week 1, Game 1, Brinewater Zones.
This map brings back some good memories from Ludi Week 1.
Oh, yeah?
I saw a lot of good sets.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, my team, Squid Est, we lost that game, but we did end up winning that set that week in a very close 5-4.
Was it streamed here on Ludi Tonight?
No. One of my teammates streamed it on his own channel, but it wasn't on Ludi Tonight.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that and check your game out.
Yeah. You are more than welcome to.
But this map, it's not bad by any means. But if a ballpoint or a charger comes out here, or even an Explosher, I can see another Explosher coming out, it's going to be really hateful.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any charger players on either team. This is a map where the E-Leader is very powerful. Or the Snipe Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like any change of comps.
Yeah, Rainfall is sticking with what... Rainfall's sticking with what works for them, but here we see the Rapid Blaster coming out from Wishy-Washy. That has the Ink Mines and the Tri-Strikes. They are probably going to want to take advantage of those Tri-Strikes, and the fact that you can cap the zone with just 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. And Complete just trying to push up, but unfortunately it does go down. And the zone is just stuck in neutral right now. Wishy-Washy just trying to recap it, but Rainfall holding it, taking it down to around 80 points.
Yeah, Rainfall does get the first cap, and they are able to make much of it. The missiles coming out that Demon used from Rainfall, they are able to hold Wishy-Washy back and prevent them from taking the zone. They do get the pick though, and but not quite the pick on the player that came down. I almost spoke too soon.
Complete able to come in and completely juke 2 of the players from Wishy-Washy and getting the double. But Wishy-Washy trying to cap the zone, but Rainfall's able to hold on to it.
Yeah, that Ink Storm on its own is not enough to overpower the concerted fire from multiple players on Rainfall. They are able to take the zone now, though, and they're getting more than their first points on the board, only for a moment, though.
Now we're seeing this Explosher as well do what, Explosher does the best, just completely just running over that zone with so much paint that no one can really hold on to it.
Yeah, that looks like it might be DHVF, who was underneath the... I don't know if they... Oh yeah, they're back on Rainfall's court now, but they must have been poking from underneath. Someone was poking with suction bombs from underneath, as Wishy-Washy has taken the zone, and they have a lot of paint down in mid, and they almost have taken the lead of this game.
Yeah, it's slowly but surely, but Rainfall's able to cap it, putting a pretty large penalty on Wishy-Washy and trying to chip down their own as well.
Yeah, and you saw there, even as 2 down on Wishy-Washy, the other 2 players they didn't relent, and they tried to keep it going. They didn't jump out, and it looks like they were punished for it, as they both went down, and the other players on Wishy-Washy have gone down. That's a full wipeout, and Rainfall's going to take the lead back, and who knows how much more they're going to get with here, pushed up all the way, almost all the way to Wishy-Washy spawn.
And Rainfall here, I just trying to buy some time. The X-Block should have using Rain on ramp rather than zone, but they have the strikes to cover it, but the NZAP's not able to hold it, and it goes back to Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy are lucky there. They were able to get the paint in the right places on the zone with the strikes and so on, and they were able to cap it. It's only for a little while though, because 2 go down on their side, and Rainfall have taken the zone back once again, and they've gotten a trade that will keep it in their possession for just a little bit longer.
Now, Rainfall here is trying to keep up any pressure, but with the Glucas going down and the Explosher still on zone with Rain, this may be another flip onto Wishy-Washy.
Yeah. Corn with the Zuka was able to get a pick there that allowed them to keep it for just a little bit longer, but it doesn't look like it's doing much for them now as 3 go down on Rainfall despite 2 down on Wishy-Washy, and Wishy-Washy has the zone now. Are they going to be able to hold on to it and take the win in the splat zones like they did in Game 2?
And they have that blaster set up with, they got some mines now, we got some strikes going on. Strikes going on the ramp, trying to flush some of Rainfall out. And the Exploshers, I see him taking a little bit more aggressive position with that Rain moving forward.
Yeah, here we see the specials coming out, the Zuka from Korn and the Booyah from Complete. That is enough to neutralize and retake the zone and stop Wishy-Washy at 22 remaining, only 4 away from taking the lead.
Yeah, that is a very clutch recap, and Demon getting the pick on the NZAP, which is absolutely huge, so no cooler for Wishy-Washy going into the next minute.
Yeah, that allowed the Complete jumping in to survive, but only for a little while as they do go down. Now Wishy-Washy is back in control of mid. That Explo really serving them well here, trying to exert as much pressure as they possibly can. Complete comes down here, gets the pick with the Glugas, and 3 go down on Wishy-Washy, and Rainfall takes the zone back. This has had so many changes of control here.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy needs to start playing a little more safe. Going into the next, back half of the game with 30 seconds left. We really need some specials moving forward here. But Complete's not backing off with those dualies.
Yeah, the Zuka came out from Wishy-Washy. The Storm has come out from Wishy-Washy. They really need everything they can do if they want to take the lead here. With only 7 seconds left and plus overtime, they need to cap the zone right now if they are going to trigger overtime and have a chance of winning. They get 2 picks, though, and they have quite a bit of penalty time to work out. One goes down on each side, a second one goes down, but they're back in an instant. Wishy-Washy has the zone now, and they only need to hold it for, 20 more ticks, and in order to win, they get a pick, they get another pick, and they might do to Rainfall what Rainfall did to them in Game 1, get the overtime comeback, and there it is!
Now, Wishy-Washy not letting up, always keeping some sort of numbers advantage, and shutting down crucial specials when needed, taking it to a 3-3 set.
Yeah, we have a Game 8 guaranteed here. Now this is exciting. This is exactly what we wanted here. This level of excitement. With the second win in zones, Wishy-Washy has stamped their authority in that mode this week.
Now we see Wishy-Washy play so well this game. Even when they're on the back foot, they're not feeding unnecessarily, and we see them just start taking such crucial picks off of Rainfall and not letting them get back in.
Yeah, even though they don't have the lead, they do have control of the zone here, and it's their prerogative. We see 2 players, Demon and Korn, trying to come in from the side there, and Complete diving in desperately to make anything happen, but no dice.
At that point, diving in is all they really had.
Yeah. Maybe they a few moments earlier, what could have been? Maybe if they had used like their specials, if they had with the booyah and the missiles, that might have been able to make something work for them. But or it might have been too little, too late, as Wishy-Washy takes Game 3 and makes the second overtime comeback of this set.
Yeah, this set has been just so many like overtime wins. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, excuse me. Again, that's Game 6, their third win.
Yeah. Now this map is definitely something. It is, as far as I know, it is in both Ludi and in CCA this week. So there's a lot of players playing this map.
Yeah, tower control on Ship-Shaped Cargo Co. Both teams heading right to mid. We see a beacon set up from Rainfall. That's Demon on the Wiper Deco yet again. No changes to that comp, but Wishy-Washy has gone back to the ballpoint that RB has been making use of, and the Slosher from Silver.
Early missiles coming out, trying to pressure the two people on left, with Demon just trying to get some high ground here, but playing it smart. But
Yeah,
I was supposed to go down, but is able to escape.
yeah, they do get out of there unharmed, and Wishy-Washy is taking back control of their top right. And neither team has taken the tower just yet. It's still a very neutral game. One player goes forward the V-shot on Wishy-Washy, but does get picked off for it.
This Ballpoint here is trying to get any sort of momentum going. They do have backup, but Rainfall's trying to make a push, taking it down to 99, but unfortunately not able to do anything more.
That is not a very big push. Maybe they're getting a little impatient here. They've taken the tower again, and now it's down to 98, but it's still not a whole lot of progress here for either team.
We see Rainfall just kind of floating this tower, just trying to keep it just not neutral, really.
Yeah, specials coming out from both sides. Having control of the tower does give them passive special charge, more of it, but so that might be what they're going for here. But either way, ooh, the zap goes down and another goes down. That's two down on Rainfall, and the fight is still in mid.
We see Silver here on the bucket. 3 down on Rainfall. It is just that V-shot. Wishy-Washy here pushing it to the first checkpoint, but they are trying to push it forward. And what goes down, which is that zap, and all 4 of Wishy-Washy are now on left, just pushing them out, trying to take checkpoint.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy is making the first significant push of the game. That Zuka not able to get anything from Korn, and I believe that was DHVF on the zap getting picked off. Wishy-Washy is able to push past the first checkpoint and all the way down to 45 remaining.
Now we see Complete able to find a pick on Naughty, pushing up on this left, challenging the bucket, getting Silver, trying to challenge RB on that ball player right there.
No, the ballpoint range wins out. Oh, but the wall comes out, and Rainfall isn't able to do much with that. But Complete uses their Booyah Bomb, trying to hold on to that checkpoint. They've almost got it already. Complete dives forward and does not get picked off for it. They stay alive. The strikes come out from Wishy-Washy. Rainfall trying to take the lead. They're down to 48 remaining. They just need 4 more points, but 2 go down. And Wishy-Washy is able to defend and keep the lead in their hands.
Yeah, fortunately for Wishy-Washy, they're able to stop that push, but 48 to 45 isn't that big of a difference. There's no real waiting. There's not a checkpoint barrier between them.
Yeah, exactly. Either team with a strong push can either take the lead in the case of Rainfall or extend it in Wishy-Washy, and it looks like Rainfall might be taking the lead. Complete able to get in there and get some picks. They use their Booyah, and that allows Rainfall to take the lead.
Rainfall here is pushing it all the way down to the last checkpoint, and the ball point is just getting pushed back, going down. It is 3 to 4 right now.
Yeah, Demon coming out with the missiles to extend the push. They get picked off, but the tower is all the way to 2 remaining, and that is a knockout. That, I believe, is our first knockout of the set.
I believe you're right. But also, like, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't this map have 3 checkpoints at first? Could have swore it did.
Hmm.
Apparently, it did not. Yeah, there's just such a long stretch between the first and second that it feels like there's gotta be a checkpoint in there, but
Yeah.
no.
But Rainfall, though, look at this push going into the final bit here. Wiper goes up top right, challenges the ballpoint, and wins. But we also have some specials coming out from Rainfall here in the last little bit. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, after that pick on RB, Demon is able to continue that push with the missiles. I'm not sure if the missiles are able to take anyone out on their own, but the team does get some picks with their help, and so that lets them push all the way to the win.
It did look like Wishy-Washy had a just like solid push for defense here, but the Booyah Bomb able to force everyone off that tower and securing the knockout in Rainfall's favor.
Yeah, it looked like they might have had some hope. Wishy-Washy. They had Naughty on the tower, but the Booyah was able to force them off and allow Rainfall to take the win.
All right, going into what is this, game 7?
That was game
No,
7. This is game 8.
8.
Yeah,
Manta
Rainmaker on
Maria.
Manta Maria. We've seen this before in Ludi tonight.
Mm-hmm. This one's not bad, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I think this map sees like a lot of play just because of how many options there are on this map. Teams can do like a whole lot of different strategies just because of all the little like not really options of pushing, but just like places to go for your teammates rather than just like objective one.
Yeah. Sometimes a Rainmaker map with 2 checkpoints will have one that's viable and one that's really not viable, but Manta Maria is not like that. Both sides, both of the checkpoints are entirely viable, and you'll see teams going for both of them. And another thing that you'll often see is you can get a knockout, but you can just as easily get very close and then lose it entirely in the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
This game can swing very strongly in both directions.
I think Wishy-Washy here has a really strong comp for this map in particular. But if Rainfall, it is, what is this? This is game point for Rainfall. So they really want to play it smart and play it safe if they want to secure it and just prevent that game 9 from happening.
Yeah, I wonder if on Wishy-Washy we're going to see the ballpoint come out again, because the inkjet would be pretty strong here, or are we going to see a different weapon, something that maybe we haven't even seen yet this set from RB on Wishy-Washy?
Curious, this map leaves a lot of room for flexibility and creativity, so I'm really excited going into this game.
Yeah, for sure. And if we are able if Wishy-Washy is able to take this, that will bring us to a game 9 on Mako Mart Clam Blitz, which we have as another map mode that we did see in week 1. It's an interesting map for clams, especially because of just how short the path is, but from one basket to the other. But we're not quite there yet. We'll have to wait and see how Manta Maria Rainmaker turns out if we are going to make it there to game 9.
Honestly, even though it is like in Rainfall's favor, if they win this, I think Wishy-Washy is more than capable of taking this all the way to the game 9, which would be unbelievably hype.
Yeah, it seems like we have only a minor delay for a bathroom break for one of the players, but other than that, things appear to be running smoothly.
Yeah, this is a really, really, really smooth set so far. Both teams are on fire. I can only imagine what their comms are like just because of how back and forth these matches are.
Yeah, this has been thrilling all the way through, and what an incredible way to start off week 4 on Ludi tonight.
Should have figured it by watching game 1 and seeing the insane push from Rainfall at the very end.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Okay, it looks like here we are getting started on game 8.
Looks like all reliable for both teams.
Yeah, the the same comp as ever from Rainfall, and the Slosher from Silver, and the Ballpoint from RB on Wishy Washy, with Naughty and with everyone taking the, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You are all good. It's just kind of a neutral game right now. The Rainmaker has been popped, but Rainfall is the first team to grab. Are they looking to take a cut here? But with 2 going down on each side, it's just kind of like, what do we do?
Yeah. Yeah, the jumps are coming back in for Rainfall. Now it looks like they're looking left. They're looking right, looking left. Wishy Washy does bring out the strikes, and 2 go down, but they're diving for the checkpoint anyway. The paint goes on it, and so Rainfall isn't able to put the Rainmaker on, but they are! They get it, they get the checkpoint, and they have 3 down on Wishy Washy. They have the momentum here. They get another pick, 3 down again. They are just diving for it right now. They don't even have the paint, but they might end this immediately, except no, only 10 points left. Oh, it's so close to the checkpoint, so close to the goal, but it's still 10 points remaining.
Silver on that bucket, just showing why it is so strong. Getting a double, but the defense from Wishy Washy is absolutely ridiculous, though. Even though it was a 0 to 10 push, the game's not over.
Oh yeah. Their backs were against the wall, but they made it. They made the stop happen, and they have brought the fight back to mid. It's hard to tell if the Rainmaker has been popped. They might have popped it and are waiting for it to return to mid, or no. Yep, there it is. There's the reset.
Yeah, that's a very smart play from Wishy Washy, honestly, just playing for reset, especially with, like, neutral isn't really anyone's game right now. It's just very back and forth.
Yeah, they have more specials, though. Oh, there's the Zuka coming out immediately from Rainfall. Oh, Naughty falling off the stage there. That can't be good.
That is unfortunate. But it's not the worst thing in the world. We do see Cooler come up and the Inkjet, so very strong push, but the Wiper's stopping it. No, that was a splatter shot.
Yeah, Corn there taking out the Inkjet. 2 go down on Rainfall, and 2 go down on Wishy Washy. In addition to the pick on the ballpoint, Rainfall are able to stop Wishy Washy's push before it really starts.
Yeah, we see the splatter shot here, just trying to hold this bunker, but backing off. And I think we're going to see another Rainmaker reset.
Yep, there it goes, back to mid. There's Corn trying to take the left side. They have the Zuka, they get 2 picks. Corn and Complete together get 2 picks on Wishy Washy, and so they are going to try to put another push together here. Complete goes down in Wishy Washy's bunker.
Yeah, we see Corn and Demon trying to get a push, I guess, started, but Corn going down to the bomb, leaving Demon just over there in their side plat, just trying to hold and trying to pull some attention.
Yeah, they might be desperately trying to paint for special. 2 go down over there. 2 go down on Wishy Washy and 1 on Rainfall. It looks like Demon was finally taken out. There comes Complete with the wall ahead of them, but they aren't able to get the pick. They go down themselves, and Wishy Washy might be able to get something going here with all of these picks that they're chaining together and preventing Rainfall from getting really much of anything in the specials, except for those missiles. But Wishy Washy does have the Rainmaker now, and they are going for the left check, and they get it.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. This could be the start of the reverse push to try to take lead again. We do see Wishy Washy taking pop, and they are not grabbing it immediately, which is very, very smart.
Yeah, there's some pressure from the Wiper. Oh, the Wiper goes down. They pick it up again. 3 down on Rainfall. Are Wishy Washy going to take the lead here? They get a wipeout. They can take the knockout. They do, and they force a game 9.
Absolutely massive push. It is, like I said, this could be the making of a really, really, really huge push to take the lead, and just the white made it all the better.
Yeah, they were playing it slow for a lot. It took them a lot of time for them to get anything going, but once they did, the dam burst open, and they were able to get a knockout before I could blink even.
And that is absolutely massive. Game 9 is what I wanted to see from the set the most, just because of how back and forth this entire set has been. It is absolutely a joy to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. And both teams have taken a Clams game so far. Rainfall won game 1, Wishy Washy won game 5, so really, game 9 Game 9 is anyone's guess.
Honestly, Clam Blitz on Mako is just like one of those maps where it's like either a complete and absolute stomp, or it is like just the most stall-heavy game you've ever played. It's just one of those games.
Yeah, yeah, anything can happen here, truly. I've seen games go every which way here on Mako Clams. And Mako in general, this is a very popular map. I don't see it a whole lot on Rainmaker, but of all the maps in this game, I think this one might have the best case to being viable on every mode.
I think you're right for the most part. Rainmaker's a little awkward, but it is a really good map.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's got the 2 checkpoints, but the one that's much closer to the enemy spawn is a lot less viable. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for Clam Blitz. We're here for Game 9, and we see the Machine Neo coming out from RB, a switch off the ballpoint, but Silver is still on the V bucket, and the same comp from Rainfall as ever.
Well, they got the Tri-Slosher now.
Oh, yeah, I totally missed that. They've finally switched off of the V shot and onto a V try because that is a very a weapon whose strengths are really powerful on here. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, with this being a match point, both of these teams are pulling no stops. They are going all in. It is all or nothing right now.
Yeah, and we see on Wishy Washy once again. We see Apple on the zap and Naughty on the shot. It's a fight in mid here. Both teams getting picks, getting specials ready. No power clam yet, and only a few clams from Wishy Washy. But they have the point sensor from the Machine Neo, able to mark all the players on Rainfall, and that can be really valuable.
Ooh, we see Corn's Jet getting shut down here. 2 going down on Rainfall. 7 with that V shot, trying to make a power clam here, able to dunk it for the first points, going to Wishy Washy.
Yep, Wishy Washy do make the first score, and they have their specials ready. They use their tri-strikes. They have a Zuka ready, but Naughty goes down. They scored a 62 remaining. Naughty is back. They had a cooler. Their Zuka's still ready. They aren't really able to get any more out of that push, but they are back. They use their Zuka, and we see that Rainfall is trying to take mid, though.
Yeah, Rainfall here, it's not like the worst, like, challenge to take it down to 62, but that's still quite a bit for this map, especially with how hard it can be to push.
Ooh, Rainfall has put together a power clam. The Booyah Bomb came out. Oh, there's another power clam from Complete going in. They tried to score. They aren't able to score the power clam. It just misses from Rainfall, and 3 went down, and Wishy Washy are able to hold on to their lead. There's a pick on DHVF's Zap. Complete is back into mid with their wall, with their Glugas, but it's not able to continue their push, and Wishy Washy does hold on to the lead here at the 2-minute and 40-second mark.
Yeah, we see another power clam from Wishy Washy. I believe that just ever so missed, but the Enzyme's able to save it, grabbing it and dunking it.
Where did they come from? Where did Apple come from picking up that power clam? And Naughty and Silver from the side scoring more points, getting out. There's a trade that happens there. Naughty's the last one alive. Are they going to escape from this successfully and keep some presence in mid? I think that's Corn on the Tri-Slosher. Yeah, that's Corn. They were looking for Naughty, but they weren't able to get them in time.
Yeah, we see this out of Rainfall. They do have a ball, but they are also 2 down. But there's an Inkjet as well. The machine's on their stacks, just preventing Corn from doing anything and going down.
Yeah, Corn had that ball, like, highlighting their location, and Rainfall and Wishy Washy was able to pick them off. Here we have RB with the Machine Neo on Rainfall stacks. They have much of mid. They've gotten 2 down. They have the special advantage with Silver's tri-strikes ready to come out. The wall is up there, but Complete goes down, and Wishy Washy has a power clam. They have the clam advantage. They have every advantage here as they score yet again.
Yeah, Wishy Washy here with 42
Whoa!
and no penalty strikes. That's the 4 down. That's the wipe. on
I
Rainfall.
think Naughty got 2 with 1 Zuka shot.
That is absolutely massive. All the way down to 15. Silver coming in with 3 clips. Trying to go from the side.
Going to the
taking
plant.
it.
There's enough claims there to end the game right
That's
now,
the game!
and they get the knockout.
Wishy-Washy taking the game 9. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, that play from the other side from Silver, once all of Rainfall was focused on their left, that gets the knockout, and that wins the set for Wishy-Washy.
That is absolutely massive. This has to be one of the best sets I've seen on Ludi tonight in like a good while.
Yeah, definitely the best one this week so far. I can say that for sure.
It is amazing. Both these teams putting in so much effort and playing really well. But look at this
Oh, look
replay.
at that.
The Zuka finding 2. The other Zuka getting the inkjet
Oh
out
my
of the
God.
air.
2
Absolutely.
shots, 3 picks. That's amazing.
That was a clip of the century. They better post that on Twitter after that. That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that is one of the most valuable Zukas you can imagine.
I mean, look at that. And then the second Zuka also comes out to support. Absolutely huge. And, like, the fact that they kept the basket alive even when it was almost gone is just... mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah, Silver's so far away right now. The basket's still open. 3 go down, and Silver's the only one left alive, but all of Rainfall is off looking at their left side, and Silver's able to come in over the block and through their plant to use the clams that were on the plant to finish out the game. What an impressive, what a smart play. That was really, really impressive.
Yeah, this game was... wow. That was something else.
That was fantastic.
My heart.
Yeah, we do have another set coming up, so let's wrap this up pretty quickly. We can't focus on that too long because we have coming up right after this another set to bring you for Ludi tonight.
It'll be Octo Royals versus Kraken a Cold One.
Yeah, and before we go, Peachy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at peachypuff_SPL. Also, keep an eye on Gravity and Ludi. We're not doing like amazing right now, but we're gonna come back. Just watch us. But what about you, Jordan? Where can they find you?
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at onesliceofpie, or you can find me on the Fediverse. I just actually recently made a Splatoon specific account that is Squidoku at splatsville.social.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching, and this was one heck of a set.
Incredible.
Thank you, you two, for commentating a Game 9 set. Oh my goodness, that was wild. Anyways, on stream side, we're going to take a short break as we set up the next match right now. Don't go anywhere. We will be starting very, very shortly. We'll see you all in a couple of minutes. Hello everyone and welcome back to Ludi Tonight. We've got our next match ready to go. Div 10 Octal Royals versus Cracking a Cold One. Joining with me tonight right now is Greg and Grace. How are you guys doing?
We're pumped. We were watching the last match, seeing the game 9 go down, so we're hoping that we can keep that energy going with this set. Grace, what do you think about these two teams?
I am very happy to be here. I love Div 10 first of all. I feel like a lot of these lower divs have such nice icons and team names. Cracking a Cold One is not a pun I've heard before, surprisingly. But I really like it.
How can we like be around the scene for so long and there's still Splatoon related puns popping up? Like that's something that only comes out of Ludi.
Yes, I hope they keep it. I hope they never change their name. I think it's great. But Greg, these teams have been having a very interesting season so far. Um, Specifically, Octo Royals only dropped a set to Traffic Jammers, who seems to be kind of rampaging their way through Div 10B this season. But we also see Kraken a Cold One doing pretty good as well. They've taken games off of everyone that they've lost to, and 5-0ing Powerline, which was their first week. So they've got some steam coming into this, Greg. I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like you said, Traffic Jammers able to beat Octo Royals week 1, but after that, Octo Royals has not felt what it's like to lose a game ever since, just 5-0ing their opponents. So I think week 1 they maybe got a little angry, and now it's Kraken a Cold One that's standing in their way, but they're willing to put up a fight, I'm sure.
Yes, I live in Philly, so I am very much prone to traffic jams. So I too would be very upset if I lost to them. So I think it fueled them with hate, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, Greg.
Yeah, and so we'll get ready to start off pretty soon here at Crab Lake Capital Clam Blitz. Try saying that a bunch of times fast. What do you think of this map?
Listen, okay. I like to name things and think of bread, okay? So like for example, ink blot, mako, like white bread. But I'm gonna go with pastries because this map is newer, it's more fresh, it's interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
I think this might be a cream puff, but like a little stale. Because people are starting to get a little tired of it, Greg. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I think everybody has been kind of overwhelmed with the map that has more than one route to push. So people are a little abusing this map and the map pools. But you know what? I can dig it. It's fun. You know, like I said, you have options, which is something that a lot of us aren't familiar with in this game. I'm gonna be really curious if we start things off with Clam Blitz and we all see Kraken a Cold One start with a Kraken to get some of that Kraken cheese on Clam Blitz though.
Will that Kraken crack open a cold one? This begs the question. However, but yeah, I mean, if you have a Kraken in your profile picture, I'm assuming we're gonna see some Kraken cheese here, Greg. But what other specials do you think we're gonna see from both of these teams?
I feel like, you know, Zuka's still inevitable. Clam Blitz, always nice to have a cooler just in case, you know, your team kind of suicides for points. You're able to just get right back there on defense. But it looks like we're going to see the Gold Dynamo Roller come out. Very interesting pick. And then we also see the 96 Deco as well as the Reflux. So some weapons that you don't really see every day. I'm excited to see what these teams do with this.
There is indeed a Kraken on Kraken a Cold One. This is a win already for me, Greg. We see the Dynamo starting up on the top left here around that little elbow area, exerting a lot of pressure onto Kraken a Cold One, and they're already 2 down here on this opening, Greg.
Yeah, Octo Royals, the Dynamo, just really getting some pain on the map. The teammates already to dive in and get some kills, but gonna get taken out here by this nice inkjet coming out on the side of Kraken and Cold Ones. They're able to retake some mid with that, especially if they cancel that hammer, which they do.
Yeah, I mean, I always go for hammer cancels, and I never ever get them, so kudos to them for that. We see Kraken a Cold One getting a few clams on the board, but not quite enough to make a push yet. That cooler is going to pop, though, and they're going to try and push up more in mid. We see this Tri-Slasher trying to get a pick, but they lose the 3v1. Very, very unfortunate, but this might be Kraken a Cold One's chance to push.
Yeah, feeling themselves a little bit with the cooler, but oh my gosh, everybody just went down on Kraken and Cold One. I think it was maybe the Dynamo flick, or at least some combination of chip damage there, getting that triple. And now the last member will go down. Luckily, they do have members coming back from spawn. They have specials ready. I just see the Kraken ready, but they're going to go down before they're able to pop it. So this is a big opportunity. They just need clams if they're Octo Royals to get a push off here.
Yeah, and I mean, we see this Dynamo keeping up with that pressure. They're on that little ramp. They're trying to get them out of that top right area on the grates, but their teammates are just not quite there yet. They are going to crack a Cold One onto Kraken a Cold One, which is quite the mouthful. But the Reflux there is going to get a really, really nice pick that's kind of going to slow them down.
This front-lining aggressive Gold Dynamo player's in-game name is crazy. Has anybody lived up to a name so well? Just get a nice shot there from the reflux. Really, weapon you don't see too often these days. They're gonna have their missiles ready, but they're not gonna be able to pop them because it looks like a combination of the Zuka and the Dynamo were able to finish them off.
And I mean, with that Zuga having come out, they don't have another one quite yet to push with, but they do have this power clam coming in. Nobody's stopping them from scoring. That Dynamo is going to keep up that pressure. Being crazy. Unfortunately, too crazy. They do go down. That shot is going to try and sneak in some more clams, but they do get taken out. And this try gets in a jump for their wiper, but this push is just going to kind of die out here as Kraken a cold one takes back mid.
Yeah, so at least getting the scoring going. We're halfway through this game, and that's just the first time that anybody's put some points on the board. So these teams really just kind of feeling each other out, and they're really going. I imagine, you know, a lot of people probably not too experienced with the Dynamo matchup, so it's a weapon you got to be a little apprehensive on because you're not used to fighting it exactly every day.
That's a really good point. I think you can really be thrown off your rocker, especially if you're not used to how Dynamos play, and it can be hard to go up against them. I think the kind of combination with the Zuka and the shot, though, gives a little bit of a level of familiarity to where Kraken Royale is like, well, no, we still kind of know what they're going for here. We got this.
Yeah, we see Red now trying to push in. We haven't seen the Kraken come out yet. Are they able to panic and pop it here? No. Whoopsie is going to take them out, but they will at least get the trade-off. So now the Kraken a cold one just having a hard time really getting much of a foothold in mid. We see the Inkjet come out, try to apply some pressure, but nobody really on that side of the map to help with the damage. Instead, it looks like the teammates went down in that right pit, so they're not able to save that ball either. It's going to... You know, the game's starting to slip away from them a little here. They're going to need a new ball pretty quickly and need to finally get a foothold in mid.
Yep, Greg, it is all about the clam economy. The clam economy reigns king here, reigns supreme. We see the members of Octo Royals taking that to heart. They are listening to me. They are in my walls. They get 3 down. They have a lot of clams on the board. We see these fizzies coming out, painting a way in for their ball to get through. 1 minute left on the board, Greg. What do you think we're going to see?
I see they're going to try to break this basket. They will. And luckily they didn't have much of a penalty, so they're at least able to get a few more points. But there's that wipe I was worried about on Clam Blitz. You know, your team goes into score. They're not able to get too much out of it. So this is an opportunity finally for Kraken a cold one to try to get some points in the mid. They are going to crack a cold one right now as we see the cooler come out. Can they cancel this stamp? They're not going to be able to this time. Looks like it's finally able to get a kill. They finally will get at least the trade here. But again, they're just not really able to get on Octo Royal's side of the map.
I think you're really right there. I feel like they're having a lot of trouble pushing in, and I think that could have to do with that Dynamo exuding so much pressure. And I mean, we see this Kraken trying to come in here, put some work in, but they just can't break out of mid.
Yeah, not quite able to do too much. Now the ball they have is in jeopardy. Gonna try to save it. Here's that Dynamo putting a lot of pressure. It's gonna get a trade and look like the ball wasn't picked up, so it's gonna disappear. It does look like they have a pity, and that's gonna end up the game there. So we see the Dynamo coming in clutch with the help of the rest of the members of Octo Royals taking game 1.
Yeah, and I think they must have really called out and focused in and been like, if that ball dies, we win. Because, I mean, they don't have enough time to build another power clam. I mean, you need like 8-ish clams. Oh my god, a fist bump. I saw that. Very nice. But yeah, I mean, I think that that's a really good call, and it's so good to see teammates kind of play around Dynamo because it's such an interesting weapon that you don't see played a lot nowadays.
Yeah, and we saw, you know, somebody, you know, crazy. They were playing Dynamo, you know, very, like, as somebody that's very experienced with a weapon, like, not somebody who's just kind of picking it up for this map and mode, I gather, because they really, you know, if you're a Dynamo, you're so vulnerable to not only the 96, but really the ballpoint on this map. You know, they're going to kill you so much quicker, but we saw they were really picking their spots of when they were coming out in the open, but they were spending a lot of time below ledges and just undercover, so those long-range weapons didn't really get a good shot on them, but they were still able to exude so much pressure.
I think if you're Octo... Oh my goodness, a little clump in my throat. I think if you're cracking a cold one going into this next game here, which is going to be Umami Ruins on Splat Zones, I think you're kind of thinking, how do we not get chip damage to death? Because we saw in that lovely replay there, I'm a big fan of the replays on stream. We saw the player that just had gotten out of the Kraken died because, oh my god, they're playing it again? this is like Christmas. Instant replay. We see that once they got out of that crack in there, they were swarmed in their teammates' death ink. Then the dynamo comes in from the side. They're coming up. See, yup, right there. Gets them really low, and the try with the fizzy kills them. If you're sitting there, you're pulling your hair. You're like, they're wombo comboing me. What do I do? So I hope Kraken and Cold One can kind of figure out how to combat that comp.
Yeah, they're giving you a lot of different looks. You know, you have fizzy bombs coming, you have torpedoes coming from the wiper, you have all these super chumps just landing all over the map. So just a lot of different things to deal with that are all just chipping away at you. So you gotta find a way to deal with that if you are cracking a Cold One.
Yeah, and I mean, Umami Ruins, it's a really good try map, I feel. So I feel like we're definitely going to see that try again. And that's going to be a pain again if you are cracking a Cold One, because you're going to have to deal with that chip damage comp. Like we've been saying a bajillion times, people probably hate us by how much we're saying it. But, I mean, what do you think that they can really do there? Do you think it's like more specials? Do chip also fight chip with chip? Or like, what's up?
I think the map might help them out a little bit here because really the main problem is going to be if that dynamo is on top mid, because then they can just influence both zones, they can do so much. But if you can at least keep that dynamo, either keep them so they're stuck behind mid or stuck in one of those zones, then at least you can set things up on the other zone, or you can set things up from top mid to try to push them. So I think that is going to be a big thing, is how do we get that dynamo off of top mid? I think just being a little more conscientious, just focusing them with your Inkzuka, just trying to farm the Kraken out there. I think if you do stick with the 96, I think the splash wall and the range is going to be really beneficial here, just to try to stall some zones and try to just brute force control a top mid. So just setting that Kraken, because I mean, I can't imagine Dynamo really enjoys being chased around by a Kraken, so if you can just kind of harass them, I think that'll open things up for the team.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think something that will also help with the dynamo is just throwing all of your bombs at them. Every single bomb ever. Throw them all at them. And what are they gonna do? Live? Probably not. They'll probably die. I think that's something that is very doable, especially with cracking a Cold One. But I mean, what else are we thinking here for Umami zones, Greg?
That's interesting. It looks like Kraken and Cold One is gonna try to mix things up, though. I think we're just holding for just a bit because they're subbing at least one player out. So, you know, we saw the roster was on the deeper side of things, so that's an opportunity for them to kind of see, you know, all right, game one, we kind of see what they're throwing at us. You know, these maps, you practice them all week, so you kind of go in with the game plan, but you also need to be able to adapt to what the other team's doing. So they're just trying to find that right combination of players in order to get the job done on game two.
Yeah, honestly, I think if somebody's annoying me specifically, and whoever on Kraken Royals was giving Kraken a Cold One the most trouble, like we were talking about the Dynamo, that try, but it could have been someone else for them. And it varies player to player, of course. You go into your team VC and you're like, all right, we're busting out the leader player. And then the leader player comes in and they're like, haha, all right, I'm coming. And then like, they're your counter. Like they're the ones that's going to help you break out of that kind of situation where you're getting hard locked because of your opponent's weapon choices. So, what are you hoping to see? What do you think they're going to bust out? What do you think this mysterious stranger is going to be playing?
Well, you kind of floated it out there with the bombs. I wouldn't mind maybe seeing a junior and just, you know, really up the bomb spam. We'll see if they go with that. It looks like, no, we are going to see a charger come out though, and a dapple dually. So wow, really mixing it up from what we saw game one.
I called it. They called in their they called in their ZNF player. They were like, I need you to airstrike this Dynamo immediately. And I hope that works out for them. Although, oh, it is working out for them already. They're going to go 2 down.
Red is ready on the 96, just trying to cap the zone before they move up. They do have the Kraken ready, and it's just the Dynamo standing in their way right now, but they're going to have to retreat. Even Crazy is not that crazy to try to take on this fight. We see the Kraken is ready right now. They're just gonna push up and look. Everybody is just taking control of top mid. They realize how essential that is. But one member does go down. It looks like with the super chumps, they're gonna be trying to push in now.
Yeah, and with those super chumps, I mean, you could just get so much ground covered, and the Kraken is gonna get canceled by that Zuka. That is just so, so devastating. And now they're 3 down on the side of Kraken, a cold one. This is a cold death for them, and I hope that they can make a comeback here.
This is a rough scenario because now we see the missiles are ready on the side of Octo Royals. They're gonna pop them now as the strikes goes out. So it looks like the members will try to trade sides right now. We see this 96 again, Red finally able to get this kill. It's a nice one. They are gonna get another fight here. This time they are able to get the Kraken off.
They are indeed cracking a cold one. Okay, I will stop, I promise. But they do get a pick here, which is going to be really essential to getting their team kind of in, but they are going to end up dying. Never finish your Kraken in an unsafe place, Greg. That is really, really tough.
And we see now Champ trying to deal with Crazy up on this top mid. Seems like they just repositioned now, and we see the Reef Slider come out, able to get maybe some chip damage, and then Crazy does go down, but the teammates will trade them out, so now it's just a bloodbath in mid right now, and the last one alive is the ZNF Charger.
Cyan is like, all right, they're all down. I'm going to get into their
It is
spawn.
going aggressive here.
They do get kind of taken out by Crazy on the Dynamo here, but it looks like cracking a cold one. Their hold is going to look pretty good. I mean, the strikes are coming out. That one zone does flip, but the Wiper is going to go down.
I just can't believe Cyan was like, as the last person alive, it is my duty to push up into their base to stall them. Somehow escaping and somehow living, able to get the strikes off, and now just surrounded by chumps, not able to get out in time.
So unfortunate. I know that they are like punching their monitor right now. They're like, these silly little chumps did actually kill me with their little smiles on their face. But I mean, listen here, this is going to be really good for Octo Royals. I mean, they've got these beacons up there. They got a lot of pressure. They're throwing these bombs in. Although the Kraken is up on the side of Kraken, a cold one. The Reef Slider is going to come in, get some space for them. But the Dapples are alone here. With the Kraken, I lied. They are not alone. They're going to push up here and maybe get the zone.
They had a friend after all, and the friend was cracking the cold one, but it looks like they weren't quite able to get that cap, which means now Octo Royals has ran through their entire penalty. If they can just hold on the zone a little longer, they're going to be able to get the lead. Looks like they will, and it's going to be now or never for cracking a cold one. They need to get a zone flip here to continue this game.
And I mean, I think that they have the paint output to be able to do it. That right zone is going to cap in the favor of cracking a cold one. I mean, there's 2 members down on the side of Octo Royals. It looks like they just chumped, which is going to be really, really tough to push back in on. But it looks like cracking a cold one also goes 2 down and loses any resemblance of a push.
Crazy is just perfectly positioned behind this hanging sign, totally locking Cyan out of able to get an angle, which is what they need to retake the zones. And just that map knowledge, that positioning again, you know, this is somebody that knows where to position with this weapon, and Octo Royals taking game 2.
Yeah, and I mean, that whole comp is really what's the right word? They synergize really, really well together. I mean, we see those missiles. That's great for Dynamo because then they're even more scared to push up because I'm missiled and also there's a Dynamo. And I mean, we also saw that try. We talked about that chip damage, and the Zuka on the splatter shot is always a good bet. I mean, it's just a tough comp to overcome.
Yeah, really, between the chumps, the missiles, and the Zuka, it's like they have 3 specials to kind of hit you from far away, but then with the Wiper, with the shot, and with the try, they have 3 specials that will hit you from far away, and then 3 main weapons that just want to run in once those specials are out to just overwhelm you, and that's what they were able to do. And really impressive, they were able to just get those specials ready again and hold, and you see just the coordination there. Everybody is just focusing the same targets. It's so hard to win anything when you have 3 people all focused on the task at hand.
Especially when that timer is taken down. I mean, that was really, really tough, but Octo Royal stayed like calm, cool, and collected even in the face of those strikes. They were like, I'm just gonna run into it and paint it, and they did.
Just brutal there. You saw in the replay the Enzap from cracking a cold one capped the left zone and tried to swim through it, and that zone was only capping their color for about a second before it completely got flipped again, and by that time the strikes were hitting the other zone, but because they weren't there simultaneously, the flip did not go in their favor. So again, just really great coordination we're seeing from Octo Royals.
Yeah. But going into our next one here, I hallucinated, thought that was a zone again. I was like, oh my god, they put 2 zone games in a row. Anyways, Hagglefish Market on tower control. Listen, I feel like we're gonna be seeing about the same comps here. I feel like what we saw before and even the game before, I feel like nothing's really gonna change. But what do you think, Greg?
Yeah, if I'm the ZNF Charger from Cracking the Coal one, I'm a little more encouraged by this one. There aren't quite as many giant billboards just hanging at
So
the
true.
sight lines that you want to hit on this map. So, I'd be encouraged with that pick, and it's a kit that really works for tower control. You have those strikes to just stall things, and then main weapon, nothing to sneeze at either on tower control. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they just stay locked into that pick, and we'll see what else they can come up with.
And I mean, I think we're still gonna see that cooler on the side of cracking a cold one. But if they are thinking that Zuka's gonna be a problem on tower control, they could always switch to Junior. Junior and Zap. A lot of people like to have both weapons in their back pocket. So I'm interested to see if they switch up their comp because tower control, the tower is very vulnerable and you want some specials to kind of protect it.
For sure, yeah. Be very interested if we see kind of the big bubbler come out to provide a little more security, at least at those crucial checkpoints for the tower. Or, they might just go guns ablazing. This map, I feel like, is maybe a little trickier for Kraken because it's a little hard. Once you get in that second checkpoint area, really it's the enemy's team decision if they want to drop for tower or not, but they have a lot of high ground that Kraken just can't really reach if they want to contest the tower from there. So the 96 deco pick I could see maybe being in danger, but it's, tower control has its own kind of version of Kraken cheese where, we get down into overtime or even, just get to a checkpoint. You can kind of just milk out some extra points by having the Kraken on tower.
That is such a good point. I think what's tough though is that you also have the opposing cheese, which may or may not be like a gross cheese, but they could just strike you and then you just explode off or booyah bomb you or something, and then you're just not on the tower anymore, and there's no chance of overtime.
Wow, once again, really, really big changes coming out from Kraken a Cold One, and meanwhile we see a different metal variant of the Dynamo Roller, this time going with the silver Dynamo with the Tacticooler.
Interesting, and we do see Snipe Rider, T-Tech, stuff that we were kind of expecting here, but because they went Junior for that bubble, we do end up seeing that Snipe Rider, but Junior is very, very interesting here because I did call it. I'm a Junior fan. I do play Junior, so I'm interested to see how it services them here, which it did not service them very well. They are all dead.
Yeah, the bubble running out at just an unfortunate time, and all of Octo Royals just there to totally surround the tower, hit it from all angles, and now it's going to be their push to start with. We see the Range Blaster go down, so it is the Dynamo that's going to be the main tower rider. We see the Inkjet pop. This T-Tech's going to be in danger. They try to pop the strikes, but not quite able to get it done before they die. And now we see another member coming in trying to make a hero play. They will get one, the Junior does, but not quite able to get any more. And we see the Range Blaster back now. They're going to get rushed down by that T-Tech, and now we see the Zuka come out, not quite able to find anybody, and we see just the tower just keeps churning forward as members just keep on getting taken out. Oh my gosh, crazy. Just went crazy.
That was a really, really great play from Octo Royals. I mean, crazy on the Dynamo. They are going crazy. They went up into that little area by their spawn to get, I think that was 3 picks, and Kraken a Cold One's still 2 down. They're just coming off a respawn trying to contest tower here, but nothing's really happening for them.
Yeah, just really, really hard here. At least, they were finally able to stop this push, but 16 is a tough hill to climb right now. At least you have the cooler coming out. You have this Range Blaster. See if you can just try to find some of these members behind the walls, but it looks like they are going to just go for the wave break right now to try to clear out mid, see if they can get their push started. We see the nice direct there on the Wiper. That might start things up, but running away from the Dynamo very quickly.
Understandably so, honestly. It looks like 2 members that kind of sniff out that flank. And 3 members of Kraken and Coldman do end up going down, and their push doesn't really make a dent at all in trying to get the lead back here. We see the T-Tech trying to kind of come in here fighting, ooh, trying to get that try, but unfortunately they do pop that jet on them, killing them instantly.
Yeah, the flank from that Wiper not getting a ton of kills, but able to get 2 members from Kraken and Colon distracted and leaving the tower unprotected, and that's what really ended their push. And we see Octo Royals just immediately, and there's a Dynamo in a familiar spot. This time Crazy will get taken out, but you see so much to dodge here. The missiles come out, the Zuka was out, but you see the Pencil trying to get some picks here, at least going to force some members back. The Soup is not quite able to follow up, and we see the jump. If can it get camped, it looks like it will. And now we see the range blasters seeing if they can try to just get control of mid, but it's really just been Octo Royals game so far.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really tough. You know, you have that push that was pretty early in the game there, Greg, and I mean, it's very daunting to kind of come back from. I think the bubble here is going to help them get closer to getting some points on that checkpoint, but it's just the junior up. I mean, Octo Royals are doing a really great job at kind of stopping pushes in their tracks by killing everyone before they can help support the tower.
Yeah, it seems like the bubble keeps getting popped on the way to the first checkpoint rather than while they're already there, and it just seems like Octo Royals is doing a good job as we see a nice little streak here by the T-Tech. Love to see it. That's a third. Can they get the quad? No, the jump out will deny that. But we see, yeah, just the bubble comes out a little early, and then some of their members go down in mid, so they're not quite able to sustain a push for very long. We see now a couple more picks coming down on the offense. Where we see it looks like now everybody's just trading lives here. This range blaster somehow staying alive, somehow getting a nice pick there as Champ.
Oh my gosh, I for sure thought they were dead because of that splatter shot, but I mean, Kraken and Cold One is adjusting here. They're stopping these pushes quicker than they were before in the beginning of the match. I think they have a real chance here to try and make a push.
Yeah, we see the bubble coming out again pretty early, but you know, with the special charge from Ryan the Tower, you know, you're gonna get another one pretty soon anyway, so might as well not save it when you're this close in the game. We see the flank coming out by Beefman on the side. We see the Dynamo go down. Do they know the Wipers behind them here? Looks like they are firing in that direction. They're calling it out. Beefman's gonna try to sneak in, able to get one, but they do still have a member on the tower.
I think what's going to be really crucial here is their specials, Greg. I mean, we're already in overtime. We see that bubble pop. Great play here. They're going to try and keep up their lead. We see that the members of Octo Royals are panicking a little bit. They're feeding in. They're jumping onto the tower to try and stop them. That Dynamo is going to hop on, unfortunately, because the members of Octo Royals just completely swarmed them and got them off that tower.
Oh, it got really dicey there towards the end. You saw they did not need many more points to steal that game away from Octo Royals, but Cracknicole one just coming up a little bit short. See the fist bump coming out once again between Micro and Crazy. Yeah, so definitely, you know, an improvement there, if not the whole game, at least the final couple of minutes. Cracknicole one showing some life, but just not quite able to finish the job as we see this strong opening push. Crazy's about to go on this insane kill streak as we see here. First victim, I believe, is Cyan on that pencil. It's Crazy able to just go up on the tower, and we saw them just make some plays once, you know, they stopped being a passenger and started to go for it and pave the way. We see just 3 flicks, 3 deaths.
Yeah, they're really efficient on that Dynamo. Something that I noticed in that lovely instant replay right here is that they put the sprinkler down to paint their feet so that they can jump onto that right area. That is such an interesting. I mean, I'm sure people do it and they're like screaming at me in the comments, like, obviously, Grace, that is the Dynamo Tech 3000. But like,
you don't know all the Dynamo techs?
I don't, but I think it just goes to show how comfortable they are with it. And honestly, comfortability is so important when you're playing with your team, and it matters with how your team plays with you as well.
Yeah, for sure. These guys are really just clicking on all cylinders. It seems like they just know, you know, we saw in the zones game how they were just all looking at the same targets. We saw the tower control game here, how they were just able to swap off who's riding the tower so they could maximize their push and get as many points as they could and keep those kill streaks alive. And now we see that coordination will be put to the test once again as we head over to Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard.
Listen, I talked about my bread before. I mean, I called crab like a cream puff, but this is some strange, like hard bread. People are sick of sturgeon. They are so sick of sturgeon. People don't like, they just straight up don't like it anymore. I mean, I I've recently learned why. I think I said one time when I was commentating, I was like, I don't know why people don't like sturgeon anymore. I have been educated, so please do not yell at me, possibly Falco in the chat. But it's very attacker sided once you kind of get in. And we've seen that. I mean, Octo Royals are really, really good at getting in and keeping up that pressure. It's really hard to get back in. So, what do you think Kraken a Cold One is thinking here, Greg?
I would be a little worried if I were them about that potential lockout situation. You know, you're used to a lot of Rainmaker maps where the Rainmaker, when it resets, it kind of goes towards that, you know, low ground and mid. But on this stage, I've seen where, you know, a lot of times the last minute, the last 2 minutes sometimes of a game, the team will just have a lead and then they'll stay in mid and it just becomes a zones game for them. Just keeping the enemy team out of mid, waiting for the Rainmaker altogether, not necessarily needing to push. So if you're cracking a cold one, you know, you gotta just kind of worry about how are we gonna get back in? Are we gonna try to strike them out? Are we gonna try to get the Zukas out? Are we gonna try to missile? It looks like E-Leader is their potential answer. Just gonna try to outrange everybody here.
I have the biggest brain imaginable, Greg. What did I say when they subbed in that member? I said they're getting their leader player in here. I don't even know if that was the one who subbed out. I can't remember. But they finally get the leader out here, which is really going to help contest with that Dynamo. I mean, we see the tries already down. Two of their front lines are already down, Greg. They're going for that push on the left side.
Yeah, taking that momentum from the end of the last game, they came up just short points-wise, but immediately starting off another push, gonna break through that checkpoint with relative ease. We see now contesting the Rainmaker shield. Looks like they're probably gonna have to back out of that as one of their members goes down. Actually, they do have a Kraken, so they will contest this a little bit longer as they're gonna scare one member away, but gonna have to dodge that pop. And now in an interesting situation here, but somehow able to wiggle out of it for just a second, but whoopsie daisy, able to finish things off.
I like that play, actually. I think it's really funny. I think they weren't expecting it on the side of Octo Royals. And Kraken and Cold One's teams were there. They were like, oh, you just rushed in with your Kraken and your like Kraken finish is going to be in their spawn. We'll just kill the person chasing you. And that's exactly what they did.
Now we see it is going to be Kraken and Cold One just able to get another chance on a push here. We see the Zuka is going to take out the Rainmaker, but again, you know, this map, they're able to just kind of use this high ground and mid to kind of take things at their own pace, push it at their own leisure, because right now Octo Royals is having a hard time threatening mid. We see the Stamper's going to come out, try to make a play. Oh, gets canceled on the flank.
That cancel was so crucial for Kraken and Cold One keeping this mid here. I mean, they do go one down. It looks like the Try wants to contest that pop. Red is going to go down as well. Very unfortunate. The last remaining person, oh my gosh, Soup, I'm so sorry. A commentator cursed you. They also go down.
Yeah, we saw multiple members of Kraken and Cold One aiming for Crazy on the Dynamo on that top left, and that just enabled Whoopsie Daisy on the Tri-Slosher to come in on the other side of the map and totally blindside them. So now we see they're able to break through the checkpoint, but we see the Kraken come out, gets one, camping 2 jumps, able to take out at least one of them. Their teammate will get the other, but gonna get taken. But now we see the Zuka come out. Specials just coming out left and right. We can see Kraken Cole wants to preserve this lead. I believe it's the first they've had of this set.
Yeah, I am really impressed by that defense. I mean, they just kind of kept popping their specials. I'm also impressed by that bomb double, supposedly. That was really clean. And I mean, that's really going to enable, excuse my alarm, nobody heard that at all, ever. But Kraken Royals is going to actually push up here. They do, I'm going to stop talking. I can't.
The alarm's going off because it's the Ludi time. I didn't see that bomb either, and I guess they didn't, as we see both of the members go down. But now it is going to be Octo Royals on a bit of a doom push here, as their Rainmaker carrier was the last member left alive. They'll stall for a little bit, will get taken out, but we see the Zuka coming out from Red, able to pick off another member. And we see now, it seems like one thing that we're seeing in this game we hadn't quite seen before is more members of Octo Royals are just kind of getting picked off. They're staying kind of staggered as we see Champ on a nice little killing streak here, but trying to preserve mid for their team, is chasing down this member of Octo Royals that they know is just sharking, as they will jump out. So now it is cracking a cold one. Again, just gonna get blindsided again by another flank.
Oh my gosh, the hammer. We saw them trying to make these kind of plays earlier, the wiper on the side of Octo Royals, but they finally get that really, really good hammer play that they were waiting for. They are getting, they are placeboing or something, or whatever the word is, and they rush into them, unfortunately going down. But that could have been huge if that was like a fruitful engagement.
Yeah, we see just so far, the members of Kraken and Colwyn have been pretty diligent in watching these flanks, but you have to be careful because Rainmaker especially, it only has to work once for that to cost you the game. So far they haven't been punished by the few times they made. They're going to reset the Rainmaker here. Going to be interesting here. I'm so nervous about them trying to preserve this lead. All you have to do is just touch your toe past the checkpoint and it's over.
This is making me very anxious. Like, I shouldn't have drank that Red Bull earlier today. Like, it's really nerve-wracking here, Greg. I mean, they're kind of all swarmed around the spinner here because they know that it's a prime position. The Kraken in mid, but there's nobody stopping Octo Royals from getting past that checkpoint, and they do get past the checkpoint here, Greg. Nobody was guarding it. They were all so focused on mid, stopping them from even getting the Rainmaker, that they weren't able to stop it once they did.
Oh, and the points just keep coming. They're going to get all the way to 16. Just a backbreaker of a play there at the very end by Octo Royals. And we see now they're going to have to go the distance, but they're going to have to deal with, a Tri-Slosher somehow just barely gets taken out there. So it is going to be Red, the 96 gal. So there goes your Kraken as a means to push in. We see the Zuka come out, doesn't quite find anybody. We see they're all grouped up. They're going to have to deal with the flank. This Wiper's charging in, doing so much damage. They will finally get taken out, but we see Champ trying to make some plays here as the Rainmaker is just stuck and going to get taken out by the Zuka.
That was so unfortunate. I mean, the leader was the one grouped up with the Rainmaker in that moment, and they can't paint for them. They can like a little, but that Zuka used all their shots on them. They were probably like, somebody help me. Somebody help me. But it's just really, really unfortunate. I mean, the Rainmaker's just like that though. Even with the checkpoint system, I mean, it like completely collapses in on you as soon as like 10 seconds. It's really fast.
Yeah, and we see just, again, not only getting that lead, but then able to really put the game out of reach here we see some nice movement there by Micro, able to just maximize that push for all it was worth. And really, leading up to it, it was just, we saw the Kraken play was ready. They kind of dove in from top mid to go after the Rainmaker. But one thing you kind of have to keep in mind is it's, okay, if I do this play, what's it going to force my opponent to do? And so when you pop Kraken, you know the opponent, they're not going to contest it because they can't. So what are they going to do? They're going to run away. Well, you got to make sure that if they're going to choose to run, ideally that's not forward, which turned out to be the case for Octo Royals. A few other members of Kraken and Colwyn went down, and the Kraken just cannot defend all the avenues for the Rainmaker at that stage.
Oh my golly goodness, Greg, that was quite the finish. I mean, I wasn't looking at the timer because I'm a little strange like that, but that was a really last minute push too. So it really stinks when you feel like you have such a grasp on the lead and then it just gets ripped right from you. But I believe Kraken a Cold One can make some plays here. We've been seeing them adapt. I mean, that tower control Hagglefish market game was looking a lot better. I said mid-game they were making adjustments. They were stopping their continued pushes a little bit more efficiently. And I mean, we saw here on Sturgeon, Rainmaker, they were effectively stopping Octo Royals pretty well here, Greg. But what do you think we're going to see here on Scorched Gorge Clam Blitz? I mean, we're going back to clams. That was the first game of the set. Do you think that Kraken has a chance here?
It's going to be interesting to see. I'm really, really curious if they do stick with the Charger. Granted, it can be effective here, but I feel like especially on Clam Blitz, you're moving around the map so much, and there is a decent amount of cover. You might not quite get the sight lines, especially if it is going to be the Dynamo that's just flicking on lunges underneath you or flicking from behind the snipe area. It's going to be really difficult to kind of get a clear shot at them. So I'm wondering if they switch off that to something else. Not to say that the charge is necessarily the problem, it's just kind of all these members of Octa Royals are just kind of swarming everybody from Kraken a Cold One, but I am kind of curious as one of the weapons there that kind of sticks out to me is maybe not the strongest option on this map mode.
Yeah, I mean, Charger lovers in the chat can tell me what Charger they like to go here for Scorch, but it is very, very tough. I agree with you. I feel like maybe that's what's been helping them here. I mean, such a drastic switch. Oh, there is only 3 members on Kraken a Cold One.
They chose to go with no weapon. We'll see how that plays out for them.
Is that a Nautilus?
Yeah, that was Cyan who was playing the Chargers did switch to Nautilus, so maybe a sneak preview of things to come as we hang out and just wait just a little bit longer, building up the drama on this potential match point.
My mouth is agape right now. I do not have a face cam, so we cannot do face cams on stream, but you can imagine my mouth is agape. A Nautilus? I feel like I never see Chargers flex to Nautilus. That is such a cool thing to have in your back pocket, and I think that's going to be so crucial for them on Clams. We talked about it in that first Clams game where they had trouble breaking through mid a lot of the time because of that Dynamo, because of that chip damage. But Nautilus is just so good if you enable it, and they have been like really good at enabling each other. I think this could be the weapon pick that helps them here.
Yeah, I like the idea of the point sensors being able to just be thrown around top mid, make sure nobody's clinging onto that wall, and then also throwing it when you do want to push around the snipe area, just to kind of spot out where your defenders are positioning. And then this map, the scoring area is so narrow that having a special that can affect that area for such a long time, like the Inkstorm, it's going to be interesting to see if they do stick with that pick.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, I'm hoping for the best here. I would love to see a game 9 and or game 6, 7, or 8.
Let's hope for game 6 before we ask for game 9.
That may be so. We cannot go that deep into the night. I do have a bedtime. I get sleepy. I'm happy to see more Clams here. I feel like the first game was pretty low on the scoreboard. That was Crab Leg Clams. I feel like now that these teams are a bit more comfortable, they know how each other are going to play. Hopefully we see some higher score counts here.
Yeah, that is true. The first game was not exactly a total slugfest. We had pretty low scoring, so we'll see if these teams are feeling a little more confident. I'm sure if you're Octa Royals, you're feeling pretty confident as the set has gone on. Things have gone your way again. These guys have not felt what it's like to lose a game in Ludi, let alone a set, but a game in Ludi since week 1. So they're just continuing their hot streak so far, and Kraken the Cold One's your last chance to be the spoilers here.
Yeah, and I mean, like we've been talking about their records so far this season in their other matches, Kraken a Cold One does not go down without a fight. So they have adrenaline in their veins. They are about to get angry, Greg. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones and also in my walls. As we established earlier, they might be in my walls. So I'm very excited. I think Clam Blitz especially is so fun to watch, especially with the coordination. Like we saw before, I mean, the Dynamo with the chip, great. But I want to see the not with the chip. I want to see how they kind of try to combat chip versus chip here. And I think not is really good with that.
Absolutely, yeah. They're reaching in deep for this game 5. They don't want this set done just yet. They might be cracking 2 cold ones, as that's what we're waiting for right now. Just getting hyped up, getting ready to hopefully keep this set alive. But you know, Octa Royals, they're ready to get things going so we can just continue this momentum they've been having. You know, they're probably a team that at this point they're readying up their weapons within the first 5 seconds of the map being set.
Yeah, like I've noticed they have not changed their comp at all. like at all. I mean, we saw like what's the right word? Like different wipers, sure.
Mhm.
But listen, that's kind of it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, we also saw the different dynamos. I guess so. They're very comfortable in weapons and their kits, which is pretty good. I mean, you know, like the phrase where it's like jack of all trades, master of none, or something like that. So listen, if dynamo's your thing, if wiper's your thing, it's working because we're looking at it working. I mean, there's 4 wins on the board. Why would you change it up?
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of how things work like that. We see some players who um, really, especially, we see support players that, they, at least in Splatoon 2, they were basically your team's armor bots. They do junior, then they go to Zap. But then you see other players that it's not the special they follow, it's the main weapon that they follow. So they kind of just accept that main weapon, go with it, and then just kind of learn the kits, learn how to use them, learn what roles work with it. Whereas we see other people, they kind of just use their special to determine their role and then just follow that special, whatever it may land on. But you see the tried and true Wiper and Dynamo players from Octo Royals sticking with those main weapons.
That's a really interesting point about going with the special instead of the weapon. I find now this is gonna be Grace TED Talk moment. I play weapons with Splat Bomb. Don't know why. I in Splatoon 2, for some reason, I like looked through all my mains throughout my time playing. I like played, I don't know, like right before the Cancel weapons came out, and like from then on, um, and it was all Splat Bomb weapons, like not on purpose. I don't. So I feel that. Probably nobody else has ever done that, but I feel that, Greg.
I mean, there's very few things as satisfying as just being in a firefight and then just rolling a bomb at somebody's feet and winning that fight. Like, Flat Bomb, definitely my favorite sub in the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Just love playing shooters with that, so I can definitely understand where you're coming from.
Oh yes, Greg. Feed into my insanity here. Um, SOS Eevee. Oh my gosh, a fellow SOSer. Anyways, interesting comp coming out here from Cracking a Cold One. I mean, we see that they're a sub. I mean, they have like a little, they don't have their little symbol, but that is double shot. They really just said, we really got to win this next one. We want to see our E leader on brine water zones. We're going to go double shot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hey, at least they're mixing it up. They have a hero variant and a vanilla variant, so kind of going crazy as we see Micro just able to dodge these Zuka shots so far. As we see just the fight happening in mid. The Zuka's coming out on their own. It looks like both teams just kind of trading a player right now. You see the Wiper able to do some damage to the staff, but they're able to just kind of dodge out of the way. And, oh, they had their sights on the Dynamo, but the Wiper not quite ready to give up on that fight yet.
It's really, really tough here. We see the hammers already ready on that wiper. They're getting these clams. They've got the clam economy down stat, Greg. They're chumping in. The try does unfortunately go down. Who got them down? Most likely one of those shots here, but that does not matter for Octo Royals. They're just going to keep the train going. That wiper getting 2 kills, and it looks like they will not actually break the basket. I lied.
Yeah, a little surprising. I thought that really opened things up for them. They were able to push in with that, but something holding the members of Octo Royals back. They weren't quite able to get in. We see now just good job by members of Kraken and Colwyn to just kind of stall on this defense for the members that came down, able to come back. And now let's see if they're going to be a little more motivated to push with the Tacticooler, but one of their members does go down immediately, so looks like Octo Royals is going to have to back up, and they're not able to get any points on this early control.
Yeah, but they still have that power clam of both teams actually having a power in their little clutches. But it's going to be kind of a fight for mid. They're going to be trying to outpaint each other. Who can get to top mid first? And it looks like Octo Royals does have it right now, chumping actually to obtain all of mid basically. And we see that Rain getting in some chip damage, but no one is there to follow up on it.
Yeah, this is giving me game 1 vibes. Both teams just kind of feeling each other out mid. Octo Royals just having the majority of mid the entire time, but neither team really able to get any big pushes off with it. We see the stamp come out. Eevee just gonna jump out here, and it looks like this will finally be an opportunity for Octo Royals to open the basket.
Yeah, and what an opportunity it is. We see this Wiper here with that power climb trying to get it in, and they do get it in. The Zuka not quite coming out in time. We see the shot here. Gonna try and run back to mid. They are scared. The entire team is chasing them down. Still, they pop a Zuka on that lone shot to try and kill them. The Wiper's coming in and saying, "How dare you do that to my friend?" But Kraken a Cold One does not care, and they kill them in cold blood, Greg.
The cold one was the cold blood after all. As we see now, it looks like Kraken and Cold One. Oh, we see one of the shots go down, but right now, nice little streak here as we see another Zuka come out already. Are they going to be able to open up this basket? They will. And we see now the Dynamo just kind of diving, trying to get some picks. They're not going to be able to. And this is a big opportunity. Can they keep the clam supply there? They only have a few clams to their name. And we see, wow, members of Octo Royal just collapsing on them and able to just really stand up on defense now.
Oh my gosh, I just saw like 8 squid rolls go right into that Wiper. I was like, are they gonna get a kill here? They unfortunately did not. I mean, that was a really solid hold from Kraken a Cold One. I think if they just had that clam economy down stat that like Octo Royals does, that could have been a really big push.
Yeah, and at least, Kraken and Cold One, they haven't really had to give up mid after this push ended. They have another ball, they have more clams than Octo Royals, so they do have a chance to continue this push, but you see their zap go down, so they're going to have to be forced to retreat a little as now the chumps come out. We see a lot of specials coming out. In fact, the stamp coming out once again, able to take out Evie, and now another member goes down, Soup as well. So it is going to be Octo Royals now trying to get another push off.
And they will most likely get that push. I mean, we see this Wiper passing them clams. That Dynamo is going to be the one with the ball here, which it's going to make it really tough for them to maneuver to that basket, and they do go down. I mean, it is looking a lot like the first game here, Greg.
Yeah, that area right before the basket's so narrow, and Kraken Cold One has 3 suction bombs, so they're able to just really stall that area out with their subs while they're waiting for members to go in and just kind of dive on these members of Octo Royals. But we're gonna get near overtime here. Kraken Cold One definitely has the clams they need to take the lead. They just need to find a way to get in. Oh, and backing up into a bomb is not gonna be the way.
Oh my gosh, we talked about bombs being a good way to counter the Dynamo. The Dynamo was like, oh, gotcha, I'm gonna bomb you, which is quite a nice move. I mean, they're also gonna bust out these chumps here, getting a lot of clams in mid. They're kind of just watching this ball and saying, I mean, you have no chance
Oh
of getting
no!
it. Rolling over. Soup, I think that was, I'm so sorry, Soup. But Octo Royals is gonna take this set 5-0 against Kraken a Cold One, Greg.
Yeah, Octo Royals finishing the sweep out in style, rolling over Kraken a Cold One. You hate to see it,
You
or
do
maybe
hate
you love to see it.
Maybe there will be another fist bump. I mean, I think we saw like 3 in a row. Oh! No, Greg, I think I have a business in being a psychic because I tapped into something today.
Fist bump fans are eating tonight. We see the sweep come out once again from Octo Royals. Just very solid all these games. Able to win it. They weren't able to KO at any point, so Kraken a Cold One able to at least keep some of these games a little closer, but Octo Royals just standing up whenever they needed some clutch plays the most. And we see just, again, not much you can do, but just try to save this ball to extend the game just a little bit, and Octo Royals was aware.
The rollover. Listen, I mean, I hope Crazy clipped that. Or well, actually they don't have to clip it because it's here forever now.
Hey, that's the benefit of being on Ludi Tonight.
Big Ludi Tonight fan.
Yeah, once again, a great job, Octo Royals, getting the sweep. Kraken a Cold One, toughest loss for them they've had this Ludi season, but they'll be back to try to get it done against Powerline next week, so still a chance to get another win on the board for them. But that's pretty much going to start to wrap things up here with us.
Indeed, indeed. Greg, where can the lovely, lovely people find you if they want to be in your walls and or just follow you on other platforms?
I'm on Twitch here at Gregory Live, and then I'm on Twitter at WhatIsAGreg. And Grace, how about you? Where can the good people find you?
Well, you can find me many a times suffering in the swim or sink help desk. Hopefully not suffering, not this week though, this past week because we had our off week, but usually I am there. More normally, you can find me on Twitter at Tubnug, which is Tubnug. So, now that that's out of the way, I'm gonna swing it back to our lovely, lovely streamer.
Thank you, Grace, and thank you, Greg. Since this is the last match, it is only customary that I also throw out my social media shills myself. You guys can, if you guys want to find me, I am on a lot of different social media platforms. I'm on Twitch and Twitter with the handle Dynamite Central. I'm also on Blue Sky with dynamitecentral.bsky.social or whatever the subdomain is. I don't know. There's a lot of things to keep track of with that, but I'm on the cooler site. But yeah, you can mostly find me on those platforms. And other than that, that's gonna wrap things up for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us in Ludi tonight. We hope to see you all next time tomorrow, where we'll have some more Ludi action for you. But that's gonna do it for me. I'm Dynamite Central. Thank you all for watching Ludi tonight on Splatoon Tourney.